So you guys have been asking me, how do you do each of the levels on Duel and Back? And I decided I'm just going to show you how to do the first 4 levels, or at least use the technique that I've been using to go through the levels up to where I am currently stuck at. So I'm currently on level 5 back, which I won't demo in this video because there's just no point. If I can't complete it, I can kind of show you how I'm doing the technique, but I don't think that's really going to matter. But I am going to show you, though, how to go through level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and what I do technique-wise to actually go through it. Now, I painstakingly dropped my level all the way back down to 0, so it's certainly going to heavily affect my average, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I don't really worry about the graph for me. I think for maybe you watching, when you're doing it, you're not going to be purposely trying to run your level from 5 down to 1. So you're going to, I think your averages will be a lot better than mine now that I've ruined mine, but hey, it's going to be useful content for you to actually learn and do this. So level 1. Now, level 1 really doesn't involve that much skill. I think, to be honest, this is the one that everyone can do because there's not really any recall or anything that you have to hold on to actually remember anything on this level. You are literally just recalling what was just previously said or what the position just was. And then, in fact, actually, just as a recap, for those who have never played this game before, so this is Duel and Back, where basically, depending on the level that you're on, you then have to remember so many positions back. And then that's split into 2 things that you are doing simultaneously, which is you are seeing a blue square appear on this grid, and it appears in any of the 8 squares around the center. In the middle, there'll be like a crosshair, and ideally that's what you stare at when the blue square is kind of popping out all over the grid. And at the same time, you've got a letter being said as well. And it's completely random. So each level that you do, so there's no like trying to remember like, oh, what happened on the previous round that you did. It is completely random. It's completely sporadic. And the idea is that you are working on something called fluid intelligence and your short-term and long-term memory to improve them. And there's a huge load of benefits for it, which I've covered in another video. But ultimately with this game, you are having to remember so many positions back. So with level 1, there's not really anything to worry about. And in fact, actually, something else that I've just remembered to mention is that when I go through each of these levels, all I'm going to do is just, first of all, just try and walk you through by saying out loud how I'm recalling stuff. And then secondly, I will probably actually just do a level in silence so you can watch, but I will only show you the ones where I've succeeded. There's no point showing you the level as if I'm failing or whatever. So level 1, there's not really any recall except for just something that has been previously said. And all we're doing is just clicking either the left if it's a button, if it's in the same position visually, and if we hear the audio is in the same position. So if we hear the letter that's just been previously said, then we press the right. So I'm going to just try and do these. I will try and do these out loud, but I find like I need silence with these. But I'll do like a little bit out loud. But it might be a case that I end up editing this to just show you a round where I'm doing it in silence, but you can at least see me succeeding and then move into the next level. So we'll just go through this one. I'll kind of talk out loud for this. So it said K.
S.
In fact, my volume is a bit low. Hang on.
S.
Let's just turn that up. That's a bit better.
T.
Right. So we'll start that again.
T.
So T, and it's at the top.
T.
So T is said again, so we can press the right.
L.
L is at the bottom.
L.
L is said again, so we can press right.
C.
C in the corner.
C.
Okay, that's the same, so we can press both.
C.
Both again.
K.
Okay, so we got K.
K.
Okay, nope, so it's in the bottom.
K,
Yep.
C, S,
So position's the same.
S, T,
T,
H,
H,
T,
T,
H,
H. So it's alternating, so it's not the
H,
same. I think I heard that right.
S, C, K.
Okay. Okay, it's actually a little bit difficult with me saying it out loud because I'm not hearing some of those letters. But that is essentially how you would do level 1. So I'm going to just do it again. I'm going to do it in silence, so at least then you can just see me play it out. And hopefully, and not embarrassingly, I will actually end up passing this one.
H, T, L, T, C, H, C, H, H, S, L, K, Q, R, K, L, S, S, C, S, L.
Okay, and there you go. Interestingly, I find the lower levels a bit more difficult than the higher ones, because you just sort of train yourself to get used to holding on to much longer sequences. So it does make it a bit more difficult. Right, so level 2. So again, I'll try and say a little bit out loud, and then I will actually demo doing it in silence on my own, and I'll only just show you again what I kind of do as I'm focusing. But with this one, this is now where it does start to get a bit more interesting, because now you actually have to remember more positions back. Whereas before it was only just the one back, but now we have to try and remember 2 positions back. Now I find for me, when I'm doing this, I almost try and like group the positions and letters together. So I try and remember them as like a batch. So let's say beforehand, we were just kind of remembering it as like, right, if it was A, B, C, D, almost like there's a gap in between. And I only then need to remember B and see if B is B the same as A, C is C the same as B, D is D the same as C. Now, obviously, they're not in that example of a sequence, but it might be the A B A B. Or A, B, B, A is actually probably a better example there. So now for 2 back, I try and remember it in batches. So I might then remember it as like A, B, C, D, E, F, like that. So give you just a slight example on just the first bit, and then I'll just talk through that again.
T,
So T,
H,
so I will remember TH and
K,
that top position in the bottom.
H,
So H was the same there on that second
S,
batch.
K,
SK,
H,
H,
T,
HT. So before it was HK, and then
C.
it's ST on the side. So it's difficult again with me saying it out loud because I'm sort of mishearing letters as I'm speaking over them. But that is then how I remember it. So I'm then grouping the 2 positions together at a time, and then I'm grouping 2 letters together at a time. And then on the next 2 that I'm hearing or seeing are literally replacing the previous 2. And that short-term memory, I don't need to like specifically be like, oh yeah, I completely remember that. But my mind, in a way, it's almost like I've kind of like drawn like a line, like an invisible line of like where my eye positions were or what I sort of heard. And I just literally am just replacing with the previous. And if it sounded like the latest two things that I've seen and heard were similar to the previous two, then I can click whatever buttons appropriately. So I'll do a demo with it, and then hopefully, again, I will end up passing this, and I'll just show you the more successful one.
C, Q,
So CQ,
K, S,
so KS,
Q, S,
okay, so bottom corner,
K,
okay,
Q,
KQ,
S, K,
SK,
Q,
Q,
R,
QR,
C, S,
CS,
K, K,
KK,
Q, S,
QS,
T, Q,
TQ,
T,
okay, the same,
C,
TC,
T,
KT,
C,
and C. There you go. So you can cut. So I managed to at least be speaking out loud as I was doing that, but that is then essentially how I'm doing it. I'm literally. Oh, of course, I got an error message there. Hang on. Let's start that again. So of course, then I was able to then sort of say the next letters in my mind, as well as like the positions, and just literally replacing the previous ones. And then if anything in my mind sounded the same, if I'm saying AB, and then if I'm going AB, then I know, right, okay, the two were the exact same as the previous round. Or if it was AC, then I know only just the one was from the previous round. And that's essentially then how you do level 2. Now, level 3 starts obviously getting that bit more challenging, where then you're now having to remember 3 positions back, you know, to not to state the obvious here. So with this one, you're now having to just kind of like group batch that even more. So rather than before we had A, B, C, D, E, F, now it would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And again, that second sequence is replacing the first sequence, and then that third sequence is replacing the second sequence in my mind. So I'm at least just holding on to a small cluster of information that I'm then replacing with the previous one. So I'm then really working my short-term memory to just only hold on to the last 3 letters and positions. I don't need to remember the entire sequence of the game. That would be just too much. And I know there are guys watching this or who are actually playing the Duel and Back game, and they're just listening to the letters and the positions and just kind of hoping that they are getting them right and clicking it. Now, I used to, when I first started this, that was the kind of technique I was trying, and it just wasn't working. As soon as you get to 3 back, it just doesn't work at all. You have to actually hold on to some piece of information. It's the only way that you can move forward. And I find rather than trying to remember A, B, and C, D, E, and F, I group them. So it's like you wouldn't say maybe like 1, 2, and 3. You'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, it's easier to remember like with numbers, for example, it's easier to kind of group the numbers together than to try and remember a bunch of numbers all together separately. It's like if you were trying to remember, let's say, for example, like your bank card, it's kind of difficult to just try and remember every single number, you know, completely. But if you remember it in batches, like if it was like 312, 219, 734, 581 or something, and no, that's not an actual bank number. Before you're like, I'm going to just write that down. That's definitely not. I've just said those numbers randomly. But it's that kind of batching. That's what helps you to recall things even easier, especially with this game. So I'll just kind of say it again out loud, and then I'll try and do a demo with this, but this is now going to start getting just that little bit more difficult. So
Q,
Q,
K,
K,
L,
so QKL.
S, Q,
SQ.
K,
Okay, but now the position's the same, so we can get that
S.
right. Okay, now I'm talking. I've kind of already lost
Q.
it, but you can kind of get the gist there. So I'm gonna do another round of this. I'll do it in silence so you can watch it and you can get an idea. I'll try my best to say out loud again if I can, but essentially that is how I do it. As soon as at least like 3 letters are said and I've seen the 3 positions, I instantly try and group it together. And this is where the challenge comes in, because the larger you're now trying to group, it kind of means as well, it can be a bit difficult to remember what the previous group was, especially when a lot of the letters might be very similar, or even the squares might be very similar or close to each other on the grid. That's where the real challenge comes in, and you do start feeling it and you feel that hyper focus kicking in. So I will do this now. Hopefully I will do this in the first go. But if not, I will just show you the take of me succeeding.
C, Q, L,
So CQL.
L,
Okay, position's right.
S, C,
LSC.
L, L,
LL.
Q,
LLQ.
C, K, C,
CKC.
S, K, H,
SKH.
C, K, L,
I think it was SKL.
C, L, H,
CLH.
K, C, S,
KCS.
K, S,
KS.
K,
KSK. So at the
C,
end, so K, and the other one would be S,
R.
which were neither. Okay, so there we go. So that's then 3 back. So level 4. Now this is where it will get more challenging. And this is usually the one that I'm on a lot. So I think I've been quite fortunate. Okay, with levels 1, 2, and 3, I've done them pretty much straight away. But level 4 it might end up taking me a couple of goes. So this is one that really does start testing your brain capacity, when now you're having to remember 4 positions back. So think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, I'm grouping the letters and the squares together. And this is where now your eyes might start like darting all over the place, trying to remember, because it could be like with the square on the grid, it could be literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You know, it's all over the place. But you really feel the hyper focus. You really feel your brain being pushed to its limits. And this, I think, with level 4 is now when it starts to be counted as like above average. I think 3 is the average. So I'll just go through the first bit, and then I will actually demo it. And again, we'll see if I can do it in one. It'd be absolutely amazing, but I highly doubt it now that we're getting to more difficult levels. So if I just press space.
Q, T,
So QT,
T,
QTT,
S,
QTTS. So it's all over there.
L, Q, H,
LQH,
Q,
LQHQ.
S,
So that's the position.
R,
SR,
T,
SRT,
Q.
Q. There we go. So So again, I'm grouping them together and it makes it a little bit easier to recall. And I would say when you can get past at least like the first half or the first two in your batch, it is a little bit easier to actually remember what the second half of the letters are, or where the positions were, because then at least again you've kind of gone over that sort of like halfway point. Yeah, I don't know. I think, excuse me, I think it's one really that you've got to experience and you'll get it. So I'll now do a demo with it. Hopefully I will again pass this on the first go. If not, I will just show you the take of me succeeding.
Q L H R
So QLHR.
Q
Okay, so that's correct.
Q H
Okay, that's correct. QQH.
R
Yep, that's correct. QQHR.
R Q
RQ.
K
RQK.
K
RQKK.
R
Yep, that's correct.
H
That's correct.
K R
Yep. Oh, no.
Q S
QS.
K
I think that's right. Yeah, QSK.
C
QSKC.
S R L
SRL.
R
SRLR.
T H Q
THQ.
Q
THQQ.
Q K
Okay.
C C
QKCC. Okay. So
Q
Q. Then we've got the corner.
L
Yeah, that's correct.
T
T. And then bottom corner, hopefully.
Q
No, but the audio is the same. Oh, maybe not. So there you go. Those are... As soon as it stops cheering. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So those are the... I got another error. You will find this error pops up when you're playing the game. I don't know why, but there you go. So that is the first 4 levels, and that's how I do my technique with remembering it. I kind of group the letters and positions together as like a batch, and then it just makes it a bit more digestible to actually recall what I'm trying to remember there. And then all I'm doing is when I get the next batch, I'm literally just replacing that previous one, as well as at the same time simultaneously remembering roughly what those positions were on that previous batch for me to know whether to either left click for the position, right click because of the audio, or to press both, or not press anything at all if nothing is actually matching. And as you can see, definitely on like levels 3 and 4 there, it does get more complicated when you're kind of, your eyes are trying to ricochet around, but best advice I can give is just keep staring at the crosshair. If you start moving your eyes around, I find that it sort of like adds a slight bit of disorientation to remembering and recalling the positions, because now you've shifted your point center of origin. I think I've said that right. So if you can keep staring at the center, and just try and like picture in your eye, your mind's eye, like where everything was on the grid, you work through it. Now, again, it's not an easy game, but definitely when you get to the harder levels, it isn't easy, but you just have to be persistent. You have to keep practicing. I tend to try and do between 10 and 20 rounds per day or every other day, depending on how busy I am. And I find it really does make a difference with everything that I'm doing. And if you're someone who has a lot of anxiety, if maybe you're someone who has ADHD or depression, I find this is a really good tool for managing all of those things. I don't know if it was always intentional with some of these, but I do find that this is a fantastic skill to, or tool even, to actually help with this stuff, as well as even to be able to communicate and socialize with people and have conversation skills, because it gets you to kind of work on your improv skills and to actually fire those cylinders in your brain so you can speak to people more fluently. So I hope this video helped. I had a lot of great feedback and comments on my other video explaining how to actually play this game. So this is kind of going to go like hand in hand with it. But at least now you can kind of see how I play the game and what to do on each level. And I personally, at the moment, I keep bouncing between levels 4 and 5. Unless I'm really struggling with concentration, the worst that happens is I come down to level 3. But then I'm never on 3 for very long. It might even be for like 1 or 2 rounds, and then I'm back up to 4, and then probably even shooting back up to 5. So again, I hope this was useful. If you've got any questions, by all means, please leave them in the comments below, whether you actually want to ask me more about how I'm doing this, if there's anything that's not quite clear, or perhaps maybe you've got your own way of recalling or remembering the sequences or the letters and positions on this, then do please share it in the comments below, and even on my other how-to video, because it's just going to help make people progress with this. And I really want to get to level 6 as well. So maybe there is something that you know that I could be doing even better that maybe takes me up to like level 6 or level 7. So if this was helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and certainly look forward to more videos from me. And if you need help with this, just give me a shout.